Thanks, Blue. How you doing, buddy? Looks clean. Yeah, she has some of the greatest fades I've ever seen. If you guys don't know what that is, like, take a look. See what nice fade she did. She's just amazing with lines, guys. I don't know how she gets it done. I can't do this. I just can't, and I just, nah. Noise. Thank you. What am I talking? I like going to the barbershop. I don't do it enough. I go maybe once a month. I don't know how about you guys. Actually, once every 6 weeks, I should say, probably, which is a mistake. Anyway, what are we gonna start with today? So let me tell you what the plan is. We have some great comments from everyone we can take a look at, which I love. Then we have a couple different things. Here's our comments. Then we have Kyle Busch. I'm a huge Formula One guy, you know. So I love Formula One. So we're gonna take a look at some stuff about Formula One too. Where is it? There we go. We have Formula One. We have Kyle Busch. They're both interesting stories. We have Sony lied to us about PlayStation 5. I'm really curious about that because it talks about SSDs, and the main reason I bought my PlayStation 5 is because it has an unbelievable memory. So if I was lied to about that, Payday 3, it was early access and it's out, or it's coming out tomorrow. Haven't played it yet. Brendan plays it all the time. He's asking me to download it and jump on. I really want to. I just haven't had the chance yet with all the editing and live streaming. So I kind of want to watch a review. Then we have 50 things about Spider-Man coming out. Spider-Man 2. I didn't want to call it Spider-Man 2 because Miles Morales was kind of Spider-Man 2, you know what I mean? But anyway, 50 things coming out about Spider-Man 2. This is all kind of new stuff. There's speed tunnels, there's stuff like that. I was watching it myself and then I stopped it because I'm like, this is great to watch together. Then we have, what does your GTA vehicle say about you? I can't wait to find out. I hope it doesn't say I'm an asshole, because I try not to be. Alright, then we have Xbox reacts to Xbox console ban. I don't know what that is. I don't remember what that is. Which one was this? We're gonna leave that to the last. We're gonna leave that to the last because I think it was something cool, but I forgot. Then there's a bunch of new movies coming out. My wife loves Aquaman. The actor, what's his name? I forgot what's his name. She loves Aquaman so much that it bothers me a little bit. She keeps saying that we look alike, and I'm like, in what world do we look alike? I'm 6'4", I have dark hair, not much of it, and he is him, you know. So, but it's cute. I don't mind. It's cute as hell, so I don't mind. But I'm kind of curious what movies are coming out. We know about games. I haven't really gone to the movie theaters. I usually wait for everything to come out on TV before I do anything. But, you know, I'm a little curious. Max said same. Your wife? Blue said, believe it or not, I have no idea how about Formula One works, not even the basic rules. Blue, my wife, Lynn, my wife, she wasn't into motorsports. She watched like Ferrari versus Ford, Top Gear 1, and she loved it. So I'm like, oh, maybe she likes it. So then we watched Drive to Survive on Netflix, and she loves the drama between the drivers and all the technology and stuff. So she's really into Formula One. And if you want to give it a try, Drive to Survive is a good way to get into it. You learn about the drivers, you learn about the drama, you learn about the company, the cars. I would recommend it just a little bit, you know. Yeah. Gaming Jug, they need to add an old NPC dialogue from original Spider-Man 2. The dialogues were hilarious. I heard some weird stuff. The next person that pisses me off, I'm gonna stick up my up there tailpipe. LMAO. Oh man, I think the best NPC conversation is GTA 5 NPCs. Stuff like, I just got my test results from the doctor and I have an STD. That's the stuff I remember from GTA 5. That's not what I do not. That's what the NPC says. Okay, I gotta clarify that, just in case it ends up like a soundbite somewhere. Although, who cares? I can't find my old music, so we're gonna go try some new stuff. But before we start, I think we should do some comments. I just heard some absolute ones, good ones. Let me just have a little sip. Mitch, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. Thank you for coming earlier too. All right. Dustin said earlier regarding you should play Titanfall 2. It's a video I uploaded this morning why I should play Titanfall 2. If you haven't seen it, I talk about how much I love the campaign of it, and if you haven't played it, you should. But Dustin goes, absolutely love Titanfall 2, but I didn't have the have to leave it behind because I couldn't find any games with all. If it's backed up, I'm definitely gonna play it. He's talking about all the lag and connection issues Titanfall 2 had on PC, which I didn't know about. I used Xbox. But and he completely agrees. I completely agree with Hike. It's not a hard game, especially if you played the campaign. Here, you guys can see it better. Bloop, 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 bloop. I don't like this. This is like EDM, man. It's supposed to be like chill, dude. Oh my god. I think the music's broken. That could be chill. Oh my god. We have a message from Fighter. I'm just gonna call him Fighter. He goes, "I'm not the first. I won't be the last to say this, but thank you for everything." By the way, if you haven't noticed, I've already read and commented. You raised many of us. Let me turn off the music, guys. Didn't like it. You raised many of us, and now we all moved on. Yeah, you're the you're one of the big YouTube OGs, but you got forgotten the most. Oh, I didn't get forgotten. You guys remember me. It's YouTube analytics, guys. I'm only getting 30,000 impressions, so they're only notifying less than 30,000 people per video or per stream. Hopefully that changes, but yeah, anyway. You were heard huge during the Prime GTA days, and we all love seeing your videos. It honestly does pain me to see the low view count. Oh, he's just so sad about it. It hurts my heart. I find it sad that you went from million views. Oh, this got side. I forgot. But now that you, but do know that you really made many millions smile. You entertained us for a long and still make videos. Thanks, buddy. You're awesome, and I started watching you when I was 12, and now I'm 18. Thank you for everything, Hike. I love you, brother. I forgot that one got all sad. I was going to skip that one. Fire, I said, Fire, your words absolutely made my day. Those GTA 5 adventures feel like yesterday, right? Views, schmews, yeah, schmews. I didn't know how to spell this, so hopefully spell it correctly. It's all good. The real rides been having, sorry. The real writer's been having legends like you on my side. The real ride, yeah. Big love from all the, big love for all the support, man. Catch you on the next stream. Much love. That was really nice. Gary goes, long time no see. Been a sub for you, to you since GTA 5 days. Everyone, I guess, has been there, and I've been wanting to get back to your channel. Have a good day. That was nice, you know. B said, Hike the Gamer, and I said, hi. Oh. Ultimate said, YouTube keeps unsubscribing me from your channel. These were weird comments today. I gotta be honest. Golden said, glad to see you posting, Hike. I remember watching your GTA 5 Biker Gang videos when I was younger. I was actually going back to watch those old videos, but then I saw you posted something recently. Very nice to see that one of my favorite childhood YouTubers is still posting. Aw, thank you so much, Golden. You're awesome. Billy! I've seen Billy comment all the time. He comes in the live streams at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Are you here, Billy? Bill's not here, probably. All right, one more. One more. PD Pan Mofo. We know PD Pan. We love PD Pan. He stopped streaming on PC, gaming on PC because he kept crashing all the time. We watched how modders were fucking up, YouTube gamers. So, he's a good guy. Okay, one more. Damn, I was 11 watching this. I always wanted to join your lobbies. Aw, and I said, haha, those were the days. Hope you're still enjoying the content as much as before. Always appreciate long-time supporters like you. Maybe one day we'll get back to the lobby meetups. Maybe one day. I kind of want to do some lobby meetups. Okay, one more, Matt. Glad you're back, Hack. Used to watch your GTA 5 crew vids back in the days 2015. He is a really OG. I started my channel in 2013. Really made my days. since I didn't have the game. Mm. And then he goes, I'm glad I made, can't believe you replied, made my day. He's a nice guy, made me. No, I like replying to people. Anyway, that was that. I figured, let's do that couple of minutes every day. I really like reading the comments. I really like replying to everyone. So I also want to share it too, so you guys see it too. It's nice. It's nice. Just don't get too sad on me, please. The views aren't that big of a deal. Much love. All right, all right. Inception time. Let me adjust my camera. All right, let me catch up with the comments. Hi, Rye Guy, how you doing? Much love, Rye Guy. DTA, how it going? Is this real? Is he here? Yes, DTA, I'm here. Mars, how you doing? Thanks for giving me a chance to read to reply to you, buddy. Not taking off immediately. Hey, Junkie. So the freak comes to play. Oh, Junkie is still quoting a random NPCs from the freaking game. I forgot what we were talking about, buddy. It's me, Billy. Oh, Ray Guy, that's you. You guys got us. Man, I know there's so many of you with names, but holy crap, it's confusing me. Ray Guy, is that you really? Ray Guy, sorry. Are you Billy? Because I thought Billy had Billy in the comments. Didn't you have Billy in the comments? Now I'm confused. LS, how you doing? Oh, you're messing with me. See, you guys gotta stop doing that. And people have like 3, 4 names, so it's always confusing for me. LS, any plans to go to Europe for the vacation? Yes. My 10th wedding anniversary is in April. Thank God I remembered when. It's in April. So for our 10th year anniversary, my wife and I want to do I can't stop saying that. Lynn and I want to do a vacation. We love Japan, but we've been there a bunch of times. So we were thinking like Europe, Eastern Europe, something like that. Not France, not Paris. It's just. I wanted to go there, but I've learned more. We've had friends to go there, and they said it's not worth it. But yeah, let me know where you are. I would like to learn more about it. Matt, definitely invite us to a GTA lobby. Thanks for the comments, buddy, and the kind words. A lot chatting. I enjoyed chatting with you. I'm not sure if you saw, if you rewind, you can see your comment up there. It's fine, buddy. Right. Aiden, how you doing? Thanks, Aiden. Thanks, buddy. And number one best, congratulations. Thanks, guys. 10 years, right? And honestly, it wasn't smooth sailing, but yeah, we'll talk about it later. It wasn't bad, but man, I thought I was smarter than every single one out there. I thought everyone was, I thought was everyone was dumber, and I was so wrong. I thought I could avoid all the cliche fights, all the cliche bullshit. You cannot. You cannot. Let me just tell you, you cannot. Okay. I fell in every cliche, everything. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm not smarter than everyone else. Yeah. But yeah, we can talk about that later. All right. Anyway, let me see what's to start with. I have two things. Um, Kyle Busch. I kind of want to watch this, but I'm afraid of NASCAR as far as their content. But it's a React video, and an edited video should be fine. Then I love Matt Amos. I watched a lot of his videos, and he kind of talks about the emergency cord. And I was watching it earlier today, and I didn't realize how much more it does besides just pulling the extinguisher. I was really surprised. I also didn't know about some safety measures on Formula Ones, and I love Formula One, so curious about that. Sony Lai, Payday 3, 50 Things About Spider-Man, blah, 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 blah. Any requests? Oh, also, link for Discord is in the descriptions. Make sure you drop any video suggestions of stuff you want me to watch or any games you want me to play. I'm gonna definitely be gaming today, so we'll do maybe 2 hours of this, and then I'll either immediately after start gaming or take a break for an hour, do lunch real quick, and start another live stream and play a game with you guys. I don't know what it's gonna be, but let's figure that out. Anyway, everyone up to date? Let's do it. COD Mobile, variable. It doesn't count unless you put it in. I'm just playing. Don't listen to me, man. Okay. I'm kind. Let's start with Payday because it's a new game. I kind of want to take a look at it. And last time we looked at Payday, last time we looked at Payday, we didn't get really clear answers. It's been out for 2 days on early access, and I really want to play with my friends. So let's go.
After over 6 years of anticipation, Payday 3's early access launch was, at least for me, an unforgettable experience. One marathon stream lasting over 14 hours, 50 levels of infamy grinded out, and full completion of both the new story mode and every single launch heist on overkill difficulty. I had an
This is the type of reviewer I want to watch when I review a game. I want him. I want him to be in love with the game before the game comes out because that's how I am usually. And I want him to grind for 14, 15 hours. I want him to have that passion, and then let me know about the game. Hey, from it.
an absolute blast. The game, in my experience, runs incredibly well, looks drop dead
Oh my
gorgeous in
God.
places, and the only bugs I've happened across
Sorry. Sorry. I caught it though. I caught it. I caught it. I caught it. I know. I caught it. I caught it. I almost messed that up. All right. Here we go, boys and girls.
After over 6 years of anticipation, Payday 3's early access launch was, at least for me, an unforgettable experience. One marathon stream lasting over 14 hours, 50 levels of infamy grinded out, and full completion of both the new story mode and every single launch heist on overkill difficulty.
Overkill,
I had
huh?
an absolute blast. The game, in my experience, runs incredibly well, looks drop dead gorgeous in places,
It
and
is.
the only bugs I've happened across are the good kind, where a cop ragdolls just the right way. However, I'm not under the impression that this was the experience had by all, and that does need to be addressed. Matchmaking still doesn't seem to be entirely functional, with people needing to join on me directly instead of just finding lobbies. The PS5 version was straight up busted. Apparently, a non-functional beta build was uploaded for early
That's one of the reasons I didn't join my friends. I wasn't sure if I want to buy it on PS5 or PC. The PCs were having hard time joining each other, so my friends were saying maybe get the PS5. And then I did some research, and the PS5 wasn't even logging on. So it was dismal start, I would say.
early access by Sony, with only the tutorial heist playable, which sounds like a classic miscommunication between parties, and whilst that has been fully addressed now, I can only imagine how frustrating that was for PlayStation
I think on
players.
PS5
At its
they
core,
loaded
though,
the wrong
Payday
one.
3 is already a magnificent
all you could do is
heisting
tutorial.
experience that blows its predecessors out the water in terms of sheer quality and game feel. And whilst it holds just a fraction of Payday 2's current content scope 10 years on, it has a lot of room to grow from even better foundations than ever before. Let's jump into the positive and negative elements from my first 20 hours with the full release.
All right.
First up, I want to start by running you through each of the 8 heists in the game on launch,
Nice
as I
setup.
feel like I should explain the basic premise of each in the first impressions video.
Okay.
Of course, we start with the SCB Bank heist. This one was playable in the beta, so you know the drill here. Not much has been changed, although there have been a few tweaks with how the vault works. It's still a perfect introduction to the game's mechanics in Stealth Unloud though, acting as a post-tutorial tutorial and a perfect springboard into larger jobs. This one is contracted by Shade and has an easy initial section in the bank itself before ramping up massively on the wide open escape. Next,
like
we move
this.
on to Road Rage,
I've seen a lot of
contracted by
gameplay of it.
none
It
other
looks
than
really
City
fun.
of Gold's Xiaoyu. This is the game's only loud locked heist, with the stealth portion effectively being a setup phase, allowing you to take hostages and prepare the route you'll be taking along this very green bridge looking setting. This is an evolution on the classic armoured transport heist, robbing a genset truck, this time for base metals used in modern
Those guys
tech.
are just hopping
In
over
essence,
like
it's
nothing.
a massive improvement on the escort mechanics from Payday 2, with the crew EMPing an electric vehicle and hacking into it to move it as they see fit, but only when a gang member is in close proximity. Once on an elevated platform, you can
That
drill
looks
your way
fun.
in from underneath, gaining access to the lockboxes before securing the loot and fleeing back down the road. This one is a seriously intense loud heist, with cops spawning from all
That
angles,
looks
so
fun
expect
as
a big
hell,
bump in
holy
difficulty from SCB. After that, it's the Butcher's surprise return in Dirty Ice, an immensely atmospheric diamond store heist that is what you choose to make of it. It can be a rapid smash and grab, with bile hovering close for an early pickup if that's the kind of hit you want. But it can also be a strategic caper as you uncover the underground workshop with hidden loot and clean up the jewelry for an increased payout. This is a jewelry store remaster as it should be done, with greater depth, but also tons of nostalgia.
That looks so
Moving
much
on from
fun.
that one, there's a complete change of pace here with Rock the Cradle, a crypto heist on a nightclub from none other than Vlad Kozak. I think this will be many people's favourite heist from
I'm glad that they added some new stuff like the crypto heist. You know, just like, it's some interesting. I'm not into crypto or NFC. It just makes it more entertaining. It just adds a little bit of a spin, you know?
From its cyberpunk and John Wick-esque music and setting to its impressively sprawling
It's
layout
gorgeous.
and very interesting
It's freaking
objectives in
gorgeous.
both loud and stealth. This one scales really heavily in overkill, with bouncers becoming more competent and making things much more difficult. The interior layout is impressive, and goddamn,
bouncers
the
have
moment you change
shotguns
the
and
music,
ARs.
you will get a good laugh. I also like that the objective of the heist changes completely as soon as you break stealth, with Shade pivoting to instruct you just to steal as much of their cash and coke from the vaults hidden
Cash
within
and
the
coke.
VIP section of the club as possible. The loot shift is clever and much better suited for loud, leaving me surprised this hasn't been done before. Under the surface, the press beta build's art gallery heist comes next and is one of the most atmospheric heists in the game. The stealth puzzles are everything I hoped they would be, and I would say this is the only heist that really is geared especially towards stealth to the detriment of loud. No matter how you choose to tackle it though, this is such an impressive
lasers are
evolution of
pretty
the
fun.
art-stealing gameplay loop, requiring you to spot blood mixed with paint and scan modern art to ensure it stays in one piece. If you consider we just used to have to look for sold signs on paintings, this is quite the glow-up. Golden Shot Bank brings up the second real arc of the Payday 3 storyline, and is just as impressive as you'd hope from the successor of the legendary Big Bank. This heist is very traditional, especially if you choose to go
I think this is the big bank heist. In every single one, you need a big bank heist. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Hey, Social Frank, how you doing?
loud and does possibly show its age as the first heist ever built within Unreal Engine. However, the stealth objectives are some of the most intense and involved I've ever seen, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with a classic thermal drilling vault break-in. If anything, this one just provides the perfect playground to showcase Payday 3's new combat mechanics, even if the objectives
Holy
aren't
crap,
that
that
deep.
shotgun.
Mass bag carrying is still a
That
bit
looks
of a
fun as
pain,
hell.
but it's all worth it when the heist opens out onto the rooftop for an impressive cascading standoff during the final charge. This one is an instant classic.
That looks
99
awesome.
Boxes is
That
the
looks-
penultimate heist
that
in the
looked like the
storyline,
funnest one.
introducing some brand new mechanics to the game in stealth and loud. This one is segmented into a warehouse and shipping yard section, with both offering their own challenges depending on the approach. It really hits a crescendo out by the titular 99 Boxes, where spawns start to get crazy and you find
Holy
yourself
crap.
constantly flanked and without the high ground. Platforming becomes the name of the game here, which can get a little clunky at times, leading to some accidents, but hey, the heist loot is intentionally discreet, and it doesn't feel right criticising the sperm bank after all these years.
Was my mouth open
Finally,
the whole
we have
time I
my
was playing
favourite
right
launch
there?
heist,
Watching right
Touch
there?
the Sky. This is a massive hit on the penthouse with absolutely glorious views and atmosphere. As probably the most close quarters
Oh, that's
heist at launch,
beautiful.
it's a blast for us loud shotgun enthusiasts with fairly creative
love
spawn
the
logic
long
to make the
freaking
most of the
beautiful
limited playing
sunsets.
area. I adore the objectives on this one as you're sent ping-ponging back and forth to put out multiple fires in order to actually steal the hard
You need a good
drive.
shotgun.
With so many layers of security, it almost becomes a parody of the genre. Stealth is also a blast on this one with the heist's dense population, but small size leading to even greater intensity than usual, requiring solo
I'm
players
not
to
good at
mask
stealth.
up
I just go
immediately.
loud.
And that's it for my short 8 heist synopsis. So, what are my early impressions of the overall gameplay then?
Yeah.
Well, I found everything about this game's in-heist feel to be astonishingly well polished. All the components that make Payday the franchise it is come together bigger and better than ever before. The music, sounds and voice acting are just perfect. Many of the heist visuals are breathtaking. Just look at Golden
Look
Shot
at that,
Bank. The
holy
scale and
crap.
aesthetic of it is magnificent. I love the way Shade guides you through the heist and find objectives in Payday 3 to be much more involved, requiring more tactical gameplay with even some puzzles
looks
there that hit just
amazing.
right amongst the otherwise high-octane gunfights. Speaking of those gunfights, to me at least the weapon feel across the board is phenomenal. Sound and kick, even on weaker weapons like the Micro Uzi or Ziv Commando, is impressive and adds to that quite immersive heist fantasy Payday 3 has
I
managed
like
to
that
capture.
flashbang.
Cop AI is tremendously improved. I found spawn patterns to be competitive but fair, and their reaction to being shot at is super satisfying, with more consistent stunning mechanics making gunplay even more fast-paced as you move from target to target to keep them all occupied and
It
prevent
reminds
them
me of
from
old
firing
COD,
back.
like Black
This
Ops
is obviously
2.
crucial, as being damaged in Payday 3
gunplay,
is a
you know?
much bigger deal than it ever was in 2. Armor has a very limited temporary damage regeneration, and your health bar always feels non-existent once those plates are broken. That means you need to be much more aware of how you're choosing to tackle gunfights, even on lower
Man, I
difficulties.
feel like my mouth is
Special
open the whole
enemies
time
have
I'm
also
watching
had
this.
a lot more thought put into how they vary up the gameplay, with me actually finding that my playstyle is specifically strong against certain enemy types and weaker against others. As someone who loves going off on solo adventures, I have been punished repeatedly by the now much
the
more
hell?
acrobatic Cloaker, a unit which in my opinion
forgot
is
about that
balanced
guy.
to perfection in this game. But I find my matchup into the new Grenadier enemies to be quite favourable, as I often try to keep civs around, neutering their gas grenades, and because their utility is generally targeted at teams that like to group up and hold down positions with area denial. As such, I feel genuinely specialised at all times due to my heist style, just via the gameplay loop, without needing to really roleplay with my skill build. Doses are also wondrously overpowered,
That looks so much
forcing
fun.
teams to focus fire at one target and often single-handedly breaking the back of a squad, whilst the shield AI is probably the biggest standout, doing so much to protect their teammates and often corner gang members they don't stay on the move. Only the taser has felt fairly low impact to me so far, and that's probably due to how much reliability he has with that easy to hit weak spot on his belt. But even so, I think Payday 3 special units are a resounding success so far, and can't wait to see future developments.
Looks
As far as map
amazingly
design is concerned,
gorgeous. I
I'd say
just
for the
want to
most
play
part,
this.
it's much tighter than what we had in Payday 2, which leads to more tailored experiences than the very free-form traversal of old. Map sizes have been shrunk relative to later Payday
There's the
2
taser.
heists, which has led to a consolidation of a lot of the best Payday as a franchise has to offer. When you take on a heist, you'll simply feel involved from minute 1 onwards and will be constantly scanning the environment for things to help on the heist. I've only really talked about loud gameplay so far though, which is a crime when stealth is the mode that's had the biggest glow up. Stealth can be brutal now, whilst also being more forgiving and nuanced for beginners due to the refined casing mode system. Not getting immediately arrested when caught and the whole search mechanic that's been added is brilliant, and I expect to see a ton of creativity with those systems going forward.
This
I
looks
also
fun,
think that
guys.
a lot of
I'm
credit
just
for
not good at
stealth feeling
stealth.
as good as it is should go to the map designers, as the layout of every heist is just so well crafted with stealth in mind. From
Wow.
ventilation shafts that
It's
can be
so
used to flank
beautiful.
around buildings, to intentional parkour design allowing aerial and underground access to many objectives. Guards and cameras just function more realistically, and to be honest, when they don't, those are sometimes the funniest and most memorable stealth moments, so I have to say, I'm not sure I'd look to improve anything with the current system as it stands. I also love the scaling difficulty modifiers. Maybe I'd tweak the lead guard down slightly, and do hope they look to add even more modifiers in the future, but as it stands, for the 8 heists at launch with 7 of them being fully stealthable, this playstyle has been given all the love it deserved, moving on from Payday 2.
Yeah, number 2
Finally,
isn't
on the
stealthable.
huge positives
It's
front,
the one on the
I'm not going to
bridge.
discuss the story in any real detail here, but let's just say I'm impressed by the way everything is being told and linked together so far. The static cutscenes work surprisingly well out of the menus, and the character voice work is unparalleled, to be honest. Some seriously complete performances from many of your favourite characters. I can't wait to cover it in depth as soon as possible. But we can't just have nice things.
Really?
Payday 3
I was
is far
excited.
from the complete article, which is something we've been warned of for quite some time. I mean, the $40 price point was an admittance that this game still needs plenty of development. There are a number of highly requested features from Payday 2 that have gone missing, like the jukebox to pick individual heist tracks, and the more involved pre-planning added in 2014. It's odd to see some backwards steps being taken here, but I'm not panicking just yet. We don't even have a launch day patch, so it's a bit hasty to be talking about missing features, but I would still say it's worth mentioning and putting these things on Starbreeze's
It
radar.
seems like minor stuff.
Of
you know?
course, I should also touch on the technical issues, some of which are of their own making, with Always Online putting undue stress on servers,
Yeah.
which I have admittedly found to be okay. And the disastrous PlayStation launch, a situation where I don't even know who I should be pointing fingers at. Fair play, it's fixed already, but even so, that's a rough start with many console doubters already out there. It's also worth mentioning the menus. They're not great, a little uninspired, and haven't been improved upon since April, but I do feel like this is an area where the team can iterate quite easily from update to update. I'm also slightly disappointed by the challenge the game offers. We were able to clear every heist and overkill at a relatively low level, which is
Really?
good as I was playing with experienced heisters, but it just wasn't that tough in Loud, to be honest. So the sooner Deathwish arrives, the happier I'll be. Finally, the elephant in the room.
So it's too easy.
Just 8 heists. Ever since I got to play the full game early, I've had my fears regarding this one. Even though the heists are all top quality and have solid replayability, I'd argue they lack some of the random
Do you think they're saving the heist for a DLC update? Because I guarantee you, companies used to release everything they had and that was working to make the game seem bigger on the release days. Now companies are holding back just so they can have stuff to drop on DLCs. COD used to do this too. It used to bother me a lot.
randomization from Payday 2, meaning after you've cleared them a few times in both Loud and Stealth, you will have seen a lot of what the game has to offer, and you can do exactly that in about 10 to 15 hours. Then the question becomes, are the gameplay loop and progression systems good enough to keep you going regardless? And I'd actually say for me, they are. But for others, 8 Heists will undoubtedly disappoint and feel a little lackluster at launch. What I would say is Payday 2 launched with less content and still went on to be a success of mind-blowing proportions, so with the groundwork Payday 3 has already laid, I'm expecting a very similar story once again. That all said, I'm still having a blast with the game and will be streaming it whenever my internet connection
Guys, go check them out. The Nolly. The Knolly. I don't know what to call them. Anyway, I actually want to play Payday 2. Brendan plays it. I want to get Russell involved too. Dean plays it. I just haven't had a chance to get on it, you know. And especially, I'm glad I didn't buy it on PlayStation 5 because with all the issues. Who's that? Hey there, brother. Hey, how you doing? Your name is Hey. Bro, I haven't watched you in 10,000 years or 100,000 years. Yeah, I took a 2-year break, brother, and I'm back now. It's been back for a month and loving it. Man, oh man. How's everyone doing? It looks epic. I want to play it. It does look epic. I want to play it. Junkie, what's up, brother? Let's see here. Let me just adjust this stuff. Too small. There it goes. That's better. SCS. Hey, Ian. Aw, thanks, Ian. Thanks for coming back and checking us out, man. Oh my goodness. I have a GTA video I'm kind of curious about. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna be right back. 1 second. I want to check out this. What does your GTA vehicle say about you? I saw this. I thought it was interesting. Give me 20 seconds. Sorry about that, guys. Wifey came by. I had to just talk to her real quick. But anyway, I saw this video. I love the title. What does your vehicle say about you? And I want to know what my GTA vehicle say about me. Let's see.
GTA Online has hundreds of vehicles, and every GTA Online player has their favourite amongst them. However, have you
What's
ever
your vehicle,
wondered
guys?
what
Let me
your
know in the
favourite
comments.
vehicle says about you? Look no further. Oppressor Mark II. You are one of 3 players. A grinder that uses the Mark II to quickly...
If you have an oppressor, I'll just leave my reaction at that. Oppressor 2 specifically.
get himself around the map whilst they earn money. A griefer ape who's flying around the map, giggling to himself as he blows up Grinder's cargo.
That's
Or
how I feel like.
you're an insane, upside-down flying monster who's mastered the art of destroying everyone and anyone who dares enter your cone of vision. No matter who you are, you've probably wasted hundreds of hours waiting for the 5-minute cooldown to end before you spawn your Mark II in again.
I'm kind of happy they added that.
Given Rockstar for that change. You probably have every single garage filled with Oppressor Mark IIs, and you're permanently registered as an MC. Oppressor Mark I. You probably bought this thing when
I loved the Oppressor Mark 1. It was my favorite thing ever. I loved it.
everyone was calling it overpowered back in gun running, and you've only ever used this one vehicle ever since. You hated the negative attention it got when it first released. For you, it was very undeserved, but deep down, you're kinda secretly happy that the big bad Oppressor Mark II released and took all the hatred for itself, making the Oppressor Mark I a totally beloved vehicle. You're probably well practiced enough to hit ground targets with this thing from miles up in the air with pinpoint precision, and you know how to dodge Mark II missiles with 100% consistency. However,
that's not true. I love the Mark 1. I don't know how to dodge the Mark II missiles. I crash all the time. It's mostly true.
The Mark II is not the Mark I's true enemy.
220.
That would actually be light poles
Yep,
littered
it's
across
the
street,
freaking light
which
poles
you
every
somehow
single
seem to
second.
hit more than your enemies with your missiles. The Toreador. You absolutely hate the Oppressor Mark II. Your sole purpose in GTA Online is either destroying those broomstick bikes wherever you find them, or defending yourself against.
I feel his pain. I feel his pain. I feel like I'm this guy too.
If a witch flies past on their broom within a 100-mile radius of you and your vehicle, chances are you're probably going to shoot it out of the sky with your ultra-accurate missiles. With that being said, you probably suffer a concussion with every corner you turn after you boost just a little bit too hard,
hard on
and smack
everything.
yourself into a wall. But aside from that, you love the speed the boost offers when you're doing high setups or grinder missions, and the versatility the Toreador offers is unmatched. But despite all these positives, you've also never found the submarine feature to be useful even a single time
Have
in
you
your
even used the
entire play
submarines?
history.
I'm under the water.
The Stromberg. You're a hipster. What can I say? When everyone moved on to the Toreador, which everyone
Which one are you
knows
guys?
is an improved Stromberg, you happily stayed with your beloved Stromberg. You keep telling everyone the benefits over the Toreador, such as it being heavier, which prevents the car from being knocked around by missiles as easily, which is actually very important against vehicles such as the Oppressor Mark II, or that the missiles are slightly more accurate. However, despite
that
all these
true?
positives, the one thing you always fail to mention is the fact that the hardest enemy the Stromberg has to face is low to moderately high curbs and bumps, which thanks to its low suspension and body
Are you
makes
serious?
it nearly impossible to drive over.
That would be so frustrating. I would be so pissed. Every curb, every speed bump, everything.
Where
Oh my
you
god.
drive this thing down the street once. It's like there's invisible walls across everywhere in the map. It's
Holy
terrible.
crap.
You just have to
It's
try
just
it.
terrible
You too
car.
have also never found the submarine feature to be useful.
Please help me.
The Chernobog. On
I love this thing. Too bad it's so slow and heavy and useless. But if you could move it around, if you increase its agility, oh, I love this thing.
Honestly,
I just love spamming rockets at people.
I kinda have to respect everyone who still uses the big bad bug. You know it'll never probably be a super meta choice since you're one big sitting duck, but honestly, you know the truth. There's nothing more fun in this game than flying this thing up on the roof of a cargo bomb
Sure, if you can.
get it up there.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
laughing maniacally as jets fall out of the sky one by one.
So
The
enjoyable.
weaponized tamper. You just wish Rockstar would add some armor to this thing.
I do wish they would armor to the dude. This car is so nice. It has so much amazing things, and it doesn't have any armor. The first explosion, it blows it up. It's got mines. It's got guns. Oh, I love this thing.
You know how good the remote control minigun on top of this thing could be if the weaponized tamper could survive a few more rockets.
Or any
better
rockets.
Yet, one at all. You know that given a few buffs, this thing could literally rival the effectiveness of the God Mode Speedo without it being a glitch. But deep down, you probably know in your heart that Rockstar will never really buff the tamper. And whilst that's deeply depressing, that doesn't matter to you. Your love for the tamper is buffed every single day you use it. The Deluxo. You sit back and laugh as people complain about the Oppressor Mark II being
I used the Deluxe quite a bit. I was never a fan of it. I don't know why. I just don't like flying in it. It feels weird to fly in it. Hey Tyrese, how you doing, buddy?
overpowered. The missiles are too accurate. You hear them cry. You can dodge missiles too easily with the chaff. You hear them complain. Yet, you just sit back and laugh. You know the Deluxo is the true king of flying futuristic aircraft. You giggle with glee as the ultra-accurate missiles destroy everything within sight. And you've likely learned the ancient art of dodging with the Deluxo, which everyone refers to as shaking that booty. You secretly know that the Deluxo could easily be on the chopping block next if it gets enough attention, but until then, you carry on floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee in every lobby you join.
that thing,
It's either that
it
or you
feels
just
faster.
really like the Back to the Future movies. The Buzzard. You are
I'm the Buzzard. I'm Mark 1. I'm Oppressor Mark 1 and Buzzard.
one
That's
of
me.
two types of players. Either you're an old school PvP player who absolutely loved to use this thing against ground targets back in the day and are forever depressed about it being power crept out of existence entirely, or you're a grinder who uses the Buzzard as your beloved trusty workhorse to fly you around the map. Either way, no matter who you are, despite knowing the Sparrow is probably a little bit better, you carry on trucking along with your trusty Buzzard. It's been by your side for years when no other vehicle was. You don't want to abandon it now.
I love the Buzzard.
Akasaka, you are an
Oh, I love the submarine. I love shooting the missiles out of it. Oh my god, what does that tell you about me?
orbital cannon spammer in disguise. You absolutely love to sit far away at the back of the map, firing your remote control missiles
I
to
do.
snipe
Yes, I
and
do.
pick
Yes, I
away
do.
at your enemies.
Yes, I
and
do.
whenever anyone dares come close to you, you teleport your sub away to safety.
Yes, I do.
You scoff at the orbital cannon campers, but deep down, you're the exact same. You're just in denial about it. Don't worry, however,
tell anyone.
with enough therapy and lots of hugs and kisses from your favourite anime waifu body pillow, you can overcome your delusion. The Sparrow. Before the Sparrow, your favourite vehicle was the Buzzard.
Yes.
However, with the release of the Cayo Perico heist and your countless hours grinding it out, the Sparrow just sitting there in your loading dock was enough to tempt you away from your original love. You enjoy how much nimbler and agile the Sparrow is compared to your previous vehicle.
Yeah.
You love the addition of the countermeasures, which can protect you against missiles where the Buzzard could not.
I
enjoy
forgot
how
about
the
those.
Sparrow is much more attractive and thinner than the aging, obese Buzzard. Hey, I'm not judging. If you want to remarry, go ahead. The Laser. You are either
I'm a laser guy too. That's me. First plane
a
every
creeper
day.
who solely uses this jet paired with your trusty thermal helmet, which can highlight any and all grinders within a 30-mile radius. Or a PvP player who's completely snapped and wants to make your enemy suffer the most pain imaginable.
It's not the
Either
best
way,
plane for
you
that anymore.
absolutely do not enjoy a fair fight. And why should you? If you can spawn keck your enemy and keep them trapped for 3 hours, why not indulge a little? Yes, you do become a worse player over time as you rely on your very strong crutch. But until Rockstar starts caring about the game, you'll carry on not caring about your opponents. The half track.
That didn't make me sound good.
You're a man of simple tastes. You like plinking away with your revolver at enemies in front of you, or you like throwing stickies out of the window from near total safety in this giant armoured toaster. You understand that your love for this vehicle is based entirely on a bug which prevents bullets from passing through the front window.
Are you
And yeah,
serious?
you
I did not know that. I did not know that. This is better than a tank.
are very scared that Rockstar will one day strip this away from you. And honestly, you might even be brave enough to admit that it's technically deserved. But until then, half track goes the APC.
Wow, I
If
did
you're
not
one
know
of
that.
the few GTA Online players to have a friend to use this vehicle with, you
Snoop was my friend when we used this vehicle. I love using this with Snoopy.
love rocking around the streets, blasting anyone that comes in your path. You feel like an absolute invincible god as you destroy everyone around you. Until you realise that tank-like vehicles have been power crept to oblivion, and your enemy can spawn in their Mark 1,
And just
Mark
shoot you in a
2,
second.
or literally any other weaponized flying vehicle to eradicate your giant brick on wheels. That doesn't
Yep.
bother you though. Those
It does.
2 to 5 kills you manage to get before your enemies realise that they need to counter your OPC keep you going. The tank. You are nostalgic for the old days of GTA Online.
I am.
You haven't quite managed to give up the days of the tank dominating free mode lobbies.
Yep,
and you
I have
may
not.
even use the off the radar tool to mimic the old tank blip showing as a regular vehicle, which allows you to trick players into approaching you and meeting their doom. Once again, the fact that a tank destroying machine is just an MC Club motorcycle spawn away is at the tips of every player you come across.
It sucks.
Kind of ruins your fun.
It does.
But that doesn't matter. Whatever you're coping on inside that tank of yours keeps you trucking along inside your big toaster on wheels. The Night Shark. You love the feeling of safety the Night Shark provides. Outside of an orbital cannon shot, you know that nothing is breaking through your thick layer of armor. You speed around the streets of Los Santos, chucking stickies out of the window at any Mark II flying past without a care for any consequence. And hey, if you do come close to death after 2 billion rockets hitting your Night Shark, you can just drive on down to any garage or any LS
I'm just
Customs
kidding.
to repair your Night Shark to full health, repeating the
love that.
cycle all over again. RC vehicles.
Oh my
You
God.
love trolling other players. You know RC vehicles don't dish out the highest amount of damage, but you also know RC vehicles are the most slippery, most infuriating vehicles to fight against in all of GTA Online. You likely jump straight into your RC tank as soon as you're shot at. And
Yes.
if that tank ever gets destroyed, you'll jump into your RC Bandito straight after, creating
Yes.
a self-perpetuating loop of total and utter
I
safety
love
and
this.
annoyance. You
I
probably
love
know
this.
that this isn't fair whatsoever, but you
I
don't
wanna do
care.
this.
As long as you're able to mess with players by knocking them over and running them over to death in the memeiest way possible.
Am I
or
toxic?
until Rockstar
I wanna
nerfs
do
the
this.
RC cooldown, you'll carry on driving your toy car. The Scramjet. You love becoming a
I miss
portable
the
orbital
Scramjet.
cannon and raining death, destruction and missiles down upon your opponents. You'll likely spend your days propelling yourself across the map like a rocket,
And then end up in the
flying
water by
over
mistake.
buildings to get to where you need to go. All the while, you use your super accurate missiles to destroy anything in your path. You've probably practiced hundreds of hours to master the movement of this vehicle, and you're able to dodge almost every missile in the game. Honestly, I have to respect the dedication.
How do you dodge
Too
missiles
bad
if you're already in
none
the
of that
air?
will matter when you end up falling into a swimming pool
Yep.
and destroying your car.
Instantly.
The Starling. You're a dogfighter at heart.
This is one of my planes. I love this thing. I really, really love this thing. It's got a rocket and then it's a glider after that. And it's so good. It's got bombs, missiles. I love this thing.
You probably know how to counter every single aircraft in this game, especially enjoying how much you can ruin a griefer's day by countering their laser, which they rely on too heavily as a crutch. You laugh as they send you angry messages, not understanding that their mean beam aircraft didn't kill you as easily as their post-op van targets. You may also use other aircraft, such as the Pyro or Seabreeze, which serves a similar purpose in their own unique style. But there's always something about the Starling that keeps you coming back. The MOC Cab. You use this thing for one purpose
I use that too. It's like this is made for me, guys.
and one purpose alone. You love eating missiles for days. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, it doesn't even matter. All that matters is the sweet taste of missiles hitting your vehicle. You will always tell your friends about the merits of the MOC Cab over other options like the Night Shark, like its lack of rear window, which turns this thing into a backwards Zentorno strat on steroids. But sadly, most never
You just have to approach them backwards because they can't shoot you through the window. Wow. Wow. GTA has turned into something
end
crazy.
up following your advice. It doesn't matter to you though. When their vehicle gets destroyed from one too many missiles, you'll be sitting nice and cozy in your MOC Cab, forever and always snacking on more missiles. The Bombushka. Everyone in the lobby
Bombushka.
is absolutely
I love
terrified
this thing.
of you. Not for the Bombushka's weaponry. God only knows it isn't for its speed or agility.
Nope.
No. Everyone fears your plane blowing up in the sky and your giant balls crushing the lobby as you fall from the heavens. The Bombushka will never be a part of the aircraft meta, and you know that. But you don't care. The Bombushka is a way of life. It's an art form that few have ever mastered.
I love
you
the
love
Bombushka.
The Bombushka, and the Bombushka loves you.
See a
The
variable.
Terabyte. You absolutely love zapping unaware players with the drone. You sit back with your feet up relaxed as you watch
I like doing it, but it takes too much effort.
your favourite Astro Soup video, uncontrollably laughing as your target wiggles around on the ground like an epileptic worm. You'll
You
never
can't
have the
tell.
highest KD. You'll probably never have the best aim in the game or the most coolest epic base montage clips. But you probably have more fun than 99% of the players in GTA Online. So, who's
If
really
you're a
winning
troll,
at
you
the
are.
end of the day? The post-op fan. You are a grinder. The Avenger. You love using this thing as a floating flying fortress.
I
You
do
will
love the
either use
Avenger.
the autopilot and hover around your enemies as you hop on your turret and fire death upon your foes, or fly around the map with a crew of like-minded friends to sit on all of the turrets to do the same. You likely lock down areas of the map and destroy anyone that dares enter, up until the moment that the lobby bands together to take you down once and for all. Yes, you are annoying. Please stop this madness and stop wreaking havoc upon the lobbies of GTA. For your convenience, I have provided a link
wanna
down
do
in the
this now, too.
description to seek mental health treatment. You are very welcome. I hope you can get better. The Akula. You
Oh,
are
I
a
love the
sneaky
Akula.
ninja, and not the Fortnite type. You fly around the map in stealth mode, like a dangerous cougar stalking its prey, waiting for the right time to pounce. You laugh at the peasants beneath you as they need to pay for the privilege of using off-the-radar services, which, of course, you indulge in for free. You
Yep.
lurk in the
This is me.
shadows and strike as quickly as you disappear. You
Yep,
know
this
how
is me.
overpowered this vehicle is in the right hands, and you hope to God it doesn't become more popular.
And I
since
wish
you
it was
know
more
just how
stable, too.
annoying it'd be to fight against a sweaty degenerate such as yourself.
Yep, it
The
would be annoying.
Savage. You probably hate the Oppressor Mark II and the Railgun for that matter,
I
for
don't like the
destroying the
Savage.
viability of this once destructive force of nature. You
It was
love how
always
it
too
feels like a
weak.
helicopter
Hey,
variant
Joel,
of the
good to see you
laser,
again, buddy.
and how you can spawn it at your CEO office to wreak havoc upon the ground targets below you. You miss the days of the broken hitbox, which allowed the Savage to dodge almost every missile in the game, and you long for the days of this bug returning.
Oh my
Sadly,
God.
it has yet to return. This, of course, will not stop you from waiting. The B11. You
Why is the B11 so weak now?
Love this plane for one reason and one reason alone. The sound it makes whenever you fire the cannon.
Thanks
You're
for the
probably
like,
jealous of the
look.
laser for having a stronger, much more powerful at its disposal. And you really wish the power of your mean beam matched its super cool sound effects.
Yeah,
You will
I
get the
love
last
it.
laugh though. You can out-dog fight any laser that dares attack you anyway. The Vigilante. You probably spend your days role-playing as Batman,
I do.
driving around the lobby saving players from griefers. You likely sing along to the Batman theme tune as you boost yourself into oncoming traffic
I do.
and giggle with glee as you launch vehicles into the air. However, sadly for
Oh.
you are not Batman. You
Aw.
are a idiot inside a mediocre vehicle with no armor. You will die a lot. You are not him. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any more vehicles that I've missed that you want me to cover,
Yeah.
or you just want to tell me what your
The
favorite
Vato.
vehicle is, leave your
Vato.
message in the comments down below. With that being said though, I do hope you have enjoyed.
Oh my god. Is there an awesome video, brother? Go check him out, guys. That was freaking awesome. I loved it. I loved it. I learned so much about myself I didn't even know. I thought the Oppressor 2 was going to be worst, but there were some really bad ones. I genuinely learned I might be toxic is what I learned on GTA. Here's to a great toxic life in GTA, guys. What do you guys think? Oh my god. Let me know in the comments what you think, guys. That was funny. I like that. Joel, how you doing, buddy? You want to buy it? Oh my god. Junkie, I agree, buddy. Oh, Oppressor is the cherry on top. Hey, Tyrese. Yeah, I learned I'm toxic in GTA. Or at least I feel like I am. I don't know. That was funny. I like that. That was hilarious. Oh my god. Alright, we have Kyle Busch. I don't know much about NASCAR, but I want to check this out. We have Formula One. Did Sony lie to us about the PS5? Who in the comments has a PS5, guys? Who spent a bunch of money on a PS5 like me? If you got it early like me and spent even extra more money, let me know in the comments. And then we have Spider-Man. A bunch of new movies coming out. I love the Savage, the best aircraft in GTA, especially for missions, as for the money. Oh man, that sounds pretty nice. Alrighty, Kyle Busch it is, guys. I don't know much about him. Are you guys fans of Kyle Busch? I hear two things about him. He's either the most hated and loved guy in NASCAR. So let's learn more about him, guys.
What was your thought about Keselowski's little declaration?
Who?
Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
This is Kyle Busch. If he doesn't like you, he'll let you know. If the fans didn't like
He's acting like Marshawn Lynch.
something he said, he won't care. If you're being a complete menace on the racetrack around him, he'll tell you straight to your face. And this is exactly what has caused the entire NASCAR fan base to completely split between loving or hating him. The Coke 600 is one of the few NASCAR races that holds prestige over most of the others. This is called a crown jewel, and winning one of them is a big deal. Like, a really big deal. And so when Kyle
I think he got second in that one. Oh my god.
Busch finally passed Martin Truex Jr. on the final lap of 2017's edition, he imagined it would be the pass he'd need to make for the win. But this wasn't like any other race. This specific race ended on fuel strategy, meaning Austin Dillon saved enough fuel to make it to the end without pitting, and Busch hated the fact that he lost the race in that way. I'll admit, seeing the guy in your windshield win off of pure strategy and not speed as you're closing in on him probably hurts than most people would understand. So after the race, Kyle stayed in his car, took a moment to collect himself and prep for post-race interviews. But
This is gonna be good, isn't it? This is gonna be good.
as more and more time passed, Busch would only grow more annoyed as he reflected on what exactly he just missed out on. And by the time he arrived to speak with the media, he displayed not a single care in the world to answer anything.
And were you surprised that Austin could stretch it on fuel? And then, I mean, what does it mean, do you think, for Austin to get his first win?
I'm not surprised about anything. Congratulations.
And
He seems like an asshole there, but this reminds me of Kimi Räikkönen, but Räikkönen wasn't as... He's nicer.
Bro, let's not lie. I'd be salty too if I just lost to Austin Dillon. You get to pull into the pits while he celebrates on the front stretch and dabs on your ass. It's like getting killed by a kid in Fortnite and they just start doing a whole emote performance over your body. Oh my god, wait. Austin Dillon plays Fortnite.
Oh
now
my
it's
God.
all making sense. But at least they're teammates now. I don't really know if that's a
That
good
might be
thing. I
dangerous.
just felt like saying that. But what
That
about
might
the
be
time
dangerous.
they repaved Atlanta Motor Speedway? NASCAR drivers loved this speedway because the surface was extremely old, and that made it one of the most challenging
Ouch.
tracks in terms of dealing with tire wear and grip. When they repaved the track, they added higher banking, and now it can be best described as Talladega's little brother. There's no resemblance between the new and old versions, so when a reporter asked Kyle Busch if he liked the track now, this is what he said.
This type of racing, is it making you more an entertainer than a driver? Yep.
You like this version of Atlanta better than the old one?
Nope.
To be fair,
I don't know if I like him. He just seems like not a nice guy.
Atlanta did go from a driver's track to one that seemed to be designed with entertainment in mind, and my gosh, was it entertaining. NASCAR's 2023 race here was one of the top races of the season. The end of stage number 1 was very intense, and it's everything you should want to see as a NASCAR fan.
That
Some
looks
lap
epic.
cars in
It's so close to
NASCAR
each
are
other.
just very extremely slow, and one of these drivers was Garrett Smithley, where Kyle Busch did not expect for him to sit in the middle of the racetrack. He almost wrecked just trying to avoid such an obstacle, and when he smashed Smithley's rear bumper, it completely destroyed his
Oh my
split.
God.
Ironically, this contact made his car drive as slow as a tortoise, just like the number 52 who was in his way to begin with, and he dropped from 10th to finish 19th place,
That kinda
completely
sucks.
ruining his day. So when the time came for interviews, Busch told it exactly how it was.
In there with the 53, they're late. 52, get it right. Don't know.
Why be such a jerk?
What happened there at the beginning of the race? I'm just here so I don't get fined.
You feel okay about your chances
He stole that from Marshawn Lynch.
overall?
Don't care. Just here so I don't get fined. I'm answering the dumbest questions over and over again. Am I good?
Dude, those people have to do their job. They have to ask you questions. Why be a dick?
Top echelon of motorsports, and we got guys that have never won late model races running out here on the racetrack. It's pathetic. They don't know where to go.
It's somewhat similar to the time where Brad Keselowski doored him off turn 4 at Martinsville in an effort to finish second place. In hindsight, this contact was very pointless, and they collided again after the checkered flag, which caused Busch to go on a tangent.
Well, he drills my coming out of 4 for no reason. I mean, where was he going? What was he going to do? Spin me out? He was trying to do a Harvick is what he was trying to do. For what? For second place? So stupid. I've already had to pay enough fines in my lifetime. I'm sure I'll get another one.
Honestly, I
Wow.
have to agree with Kyle
Wow.
Busch. This is only something that should be happening in a NASCAR video game. Like, where was bro going? He could have just been a few years early and wall-rided the final turn to win the whole race.
Right.
But anyways, that finish was crazy and everyone remembers it because of how viral it went.
It went
But did you
amazing,
know
I saw
Kyle
that.
Busch was actually part of one of the most iconic finishes in NASCAR history. This finish was epic. Larson ran Busch into the wall on the final lap, so for the 18, anything goes in the final corner. He pushed the 42 too hard into the corner, used this wall to help turn his car, and sailed to victory only to hear boos rain down from the grandstands.
Holy crap.
Why?
He literally knocked him out of the race to win.
This finish is what NASCAR is all about. Well, okay, I'm not going to waste your time. I'll tell you exactly why. Remember how I said in the start of this video that NASCAR fans either love or hate Kyle Busch? Well, the average NASCAR fan certainly liked Larson more than Busch. So,
Ooh.
great finish, bad winner. The funny part is Larson wasn't even mad. After the finish, he pulled up next to Busch and gave him a thumbs up. So when Busch heard the crowd's response, he mocked them because yes, that finish was indeed crazy good.
Who is this guy?
It wouldn't even have been a race. I don't know what y'all are whining about, but if you don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch.
That
Wow.
famous quote from Talladega Nights
If you ain't first, you're last.
is Kyle Busch in a nutshell, especially
Hey, Phillip.
considering how much he despises second place. Busch had a miserable truck race at Charlotte, but he
God.
was able to rally back to finish second. But as we saw earlier, second place is just the first loser. So although the rally through the field was impressive, he gave all the credit to himself and absolutely none of it to his pit crew.
Gotta be kidding me. We lose 6 spots every time coming down, and you guys can't figure out how to jump off the wall?
Can you talk about how you made your way back to the field?
Pure talent.
I have no words, guys. I have no freaking words. Yeah, pure talent. Who put the fuel in your car, buddy?
That's about it. My pit crew did absolutely nothing to help me out tonight. My truck drove like you can't pass in traffic. You can't race alongside anybody. You can't get within 5 truck lengths of no one. But somehow, some way, I was able to get back to the
Wow, way.
So Kyle wasn't a
Wow.
fan of his truck that day, but he also hated NASCAR's Car of Tomorrow. Very goofy name, just like the goofy spoiler on the back of all the cars. Man, nothing screams stock car like pimping it out to look like it belongs in this scene from the Cars. To be fair, the stock cars in the sport were having an identity crisis because every manufacturer looked the exact same, and there were definitely no real-life cars that had any resemblance to these. But perhaps
Hatchel.
something worse than the way they looked was the way they drove. Busch won the first ever race in a Car of Tomorrow, and he said they completely suck to drive.
I'm still not a very big fan of these things. I can't stand to drive them. They suck.
You probably didn't know that Kyle Busch was once accused of wrecking on purpose. The
Really?
spin in question was this one on lap 2 at Watkins Glen. Reporter Bob Pockrass didn't know that there was actually contact here, and so he asked Busch if he regretted spinning and getting into it with Byron last week. Busch proceeded to say,
Bob. Well, let me ask you this. There you go.
Busch has been racing in
Wow.
NASCAR for over 20 years now. He's raced with the likes of Mark Martin.
There has been a good soundbite of him. It's just all negative soundbites of him. Why would sponsors want him as the person they're sponsoring? I don't understand. You're supposed to... Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know if this guy would have survived in Formula 1. Kimi did, but at least he was kind of nice.
Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr., but now he races with Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, and Ty Gibbs.
Wow.
Over the years, there's been a clear mentality shift from NASCAR drivers where it's all take and no give. So after all of this dirty racing, Kyle Busch finally went on a rant.
Now you're going down the right path, as we have completely lost any sense of respect in the garage area between drivers. There was an etiquette that once did live here. I mean, it did exist. That's gone.
But again,
That's pretty
there's
true in
no
all
lines
racing,
detected. Most race fans could agree to these statements, that overall NASCAR's dirtier than what it used to be. Now, the drivers aren't fully to blame. You can also look at the racing package that bunches everyone closer together than ever
Yeah.
before, as well as the playoffs and stages that put points on the table at all times. There's a lot to gain, but also a lot to lose if you don't shift your driving style to be greedy. Greedy. I know of a driver who's greedy.
Who?
Brian Vickers was greedy while racing Kyle Busch for the win
Yeah.
in the Nationwide Series. Approaching the final lap, Brad Keselowski was lurking in the shadows when Vickers was so tunnel visioned and not letting Busch pass. So he chased him to the bottom of the track and side drafted. And all of this happened while Keselowski was just easily able to pass on the outside.
What
but
a
ironically,
mistake.
this same exact thing happened in Busch's favor just a few years later. I'm sure you could guess that Kyle couldn't help himself from being brutally honest about this situation.
He hung on my right rear quarter panel, and the 88 just drove right by both of us on the outside because Brian Vickers was trying to slow both of us down. Just stupid. Unfortunately, you race with idiots, and, I guess you'll have that sometimes.
So is it good or bad for NASCAR to have a personality like Kyle Busch? All I know is that it sure makes for quality entertainment. Hit subscribe so you can say you
It's definitely entertaining, but holy crap, who sponsors him? Like, why would you want to sponsor Kyle Busch if that's how he acts? Every time he goes crazy, you're all over his shirt and you're on the news. I guess, hey, it works. Holy crap. Are you guys fan of NASCAR? Let me know if you guys prefer NASCAR, Formula 1, and who are you rooting for? In Formula 1, I don't know, but not Red Bull. I feel like I'm right now going for Mercedes, Danny Ricciardo, who's injured right now, Ferraris, the ring for the Ferraris. So pretty much everyone except Red Bull. A little bit of a Max Verstappen vibe right there. Zora, NASCAR. I've been wanting to get into NASCAR again because I've kind of fell out of it last 15 years. Yeah. That was fun. Oh, man. Junkie said, I didn't know NASCAR let this man act like this. I think it's not NASCAR. I think it's his sponsors. Because if the sponsors start dropping him, he wouldn't be able to act like this, right? Yeah. Do you guys... Let's see the difference like between NASCAR and Formula 1. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Just 1 second. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. I keep having to take care of something. Hopefully you guys don't mind. Zora, I love your NASCAR logo on your account. I love the Le Mans and GT races. I love the reason I like GT races and Le Mans races. I love the GT races because they look like cars I can buy. I love that. I don't know why. It makes me happy. I know what this is. This is an emergency cord to stop the car. Not to stop the car. That I just learned recently. So let me start that again. I know what this is. It's a fire extinguisher emergency cord. But I didn't know it did a lot more things. So I love Formula One. I've been getting into it a lot more in the last 5 years. So I kind of want to share this with you. I was watching it by myself. So let's watch it together.
This red lead, then I would destroy this Formula One car. But what makes this really interesting is that this feature has been on every Formula One car since the 1970s. And at the end of this video, I'll show you what happens when it's pulled.
Okay, I think we're good to go.
3, 2, 1.
But why do
If you pull that cord, you will destroy it. The foam is corrosive and it's a weight stuff, so it has to be immediately cleaned. So it's a big, big thing.
Formula One cars have this feature. During a Formula One season, it's common to see these drivers having to retire a car from a race when something mechanical breaks down. But like with Carlos Sainz in Austria in 2022, his engine failed and caught fire and started to spread. This then displayed a real-world example of why drivers are needing to be able to remove themselves in situations like this. But the FIA, who governs all the Formula One rules and regulations, won't leave that to chance.
Before a driver is allowed to compete in the Formula One World Championship, one of the requirements from the FIA is for you to
Are we getting a free show right now? Why is he undressing?
complete the FIA cockpit exit exercise, also known as the jump test, whereby a driver needs to extract themselves out of a car in 7 seconds, and then replace the steering wheel back in a total of 12 seconds. And if you can't do this, then you can't race in the championship. So then I wonder, how long would it take for an average person with no single-seater experience take to get out? And if they can complete it within the allotted time? Well, we're about to find out.
For the test today,
Okay, I forgot about this. I knew about this, but you know, we all sometimes dream like, oh, I'm gonna go watch a race, and for some reason they don't have a race car driver, so they're gonna ask me to drive, you know, some kind of a daydream. You know, it's not real, you know. But you always forget that, hey, there's a weight limit hike. You gotta fit in the car hike. You gotta jump out of the car in a 7 seconds hike. You know, there's realism that I avoid when I daydream, and this is kind of reminding me that maybe I cannot be a Formula One driver, even if I wanted to. Yeah, but still a good dream to have.
Today we are using Sergio Perez's 2019 Racing Point. And special thanks again to TDF for helping with this, and for helping me set off a fire extinguisher safely at the end of the video. But when a driver does have a crash, we see them return the steering wheel back into the cockpit. So why is that? Well, one reason is because not many people know
I was always curious about it. I thought it was so the steering wheel never gets lost, but I wasn't sure.
How to put a steering wheel back onto a Formula One car, which also includes the marshals. But it also means if the marshals can move the car without needing a crane, they can easily control the front wheel's rotation to make their job much easier. And let's not also forget that the wheels are very expensive. So leaving it back in the car's cockpit means that the teams, F1 and the FIA can view the live onboard to make sure no one with sticky fingers can get their hands on it, as opposed to a driver walking off with it and it suddenly gets lost.
Are the pedals in? No. I was just thinking like there's a lot of travel here.
And on top of that, a few years ago, it was also set that the marshals could put the car back into neutral. But because the wheels have become a bit more complex and differ from team to team, the marshals can now put the car into neutral from the outside of the cockpit. So if a driver doesn't disengage the clutch, it can be done by using the switch here.
I did not know about this. Did you guys know that Formula cars have a neutral button that's accessible externally? Holy crap, did not know that.
There's only special circumstances where a driver doesn't need to replace the wheel back into the cockpit, and that's when the car becomes unsafe. Whether that's through obvious danger like a fire breakout, or a crash being that significant.
I remember this one too.
But also if there is an electrical issue. And an example of this was back in 2019 at the Bahrain GP. Daniel Ricciardo had to retire his car due to his car's energy recovery system alert light turning red, which means that the car is electronically unsafe. Now, during this exercise, you are allowed to pass the steering wheel to a team member and they can return it to you, but the headrest must stay on the car at all times. The exercise begins with the driver already in the car and fully connected. This includes your radio system, all of the seatbelts fastened up tightly, the headrest on, and a steering wheel in place.
Alonso,
and
I
all
like him too.
racewear is needed for this too, including your race boots, race underwear, race suits, balaclava, gloves, hands or FHR device, and of course, your helmet. But for today's test, I won't be wearing a hands device and I won't be having the headrest in. And this is purely just so then I don't accidentally damage the car, like cracking the headrest, making it unusable. So then how long does it take for a regular person who doesn't have any single-seater experience take to do the test?
3, 2, 1.
Okay. Oh, he's taking too long with his belt buckle. Oh my god, it's one rotation, it's easy.
Ow.
Ow. You've seen him do it! Hands out, over, and get up! You stepped. Oh.
17.
Oh. Okay, I feel like he has no experience with belt buckles. Not belt buckles. With quick release belts. Okay, I have that from the aviation. In the military, we have 5-point harnesses and 2-point harnesses, and they all have quick releases. You don't even have to look down. You feel and rotate. He took him like 7 seconds just to look down and undo his belt. And then he didn't. We've all seen how they do it. You put your hands out, go like this, and then, yeah, his technique needs to be practiced. Oh my god, I want to try it. I know I'm not gonna fit in it, and I'm out of shape. I want to try it. Let's watch it one more time.
Experience.
Look how long it takes him to undo his belt.
3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds just for the belt, maybe 6 with the wheel.
Ow.
Hey Colin, how you doing? Hey Frost. Oh, I thought we were gonna miss you today, Frost. Yeah. I want to try it. I really want to try getting out of a Formula 1 car.
I didn't even get the wheel back up.
Yeah, that's in my hand.
But to be fair though, it is the first time I've ever climbed into a
Thanks,
real-life F1 car. But it looks like I won't be driving one soon because I can't safely get out in time. However, one way I am keeping myself safe whenever I'm traveling to make these videos is using today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Now, Surfshark VPN keeps your online identity safe by
I don't use VPNs. Maybe I should. I don't know.
Location to anything abroad and wanting to watch VPN isn't just limited to. What's the point of doing this exercise in the first place? Drivers climb in and out of these cars hundreds of times during a season.
Yeah, he was trying to push himself up instead of pulling himself up.
Well, the whole
I can only keep doing this all day long.
Safety. Doing this exercise gives the FIA confidence that the driver has the physical strength to remove themselves from a car when they're in serious danger. But let's move on to why it's needing to be timed. 7 seconds to just get out of the car and to put the steering wheel back on in a total of 12 seconds. Now, originally this used to be a total of 12 seconds with 5 seconds to remove yourself from the cockpit, but this was changed when the Halo device came into the championship. But the time duration here is more related to the amount of protection you get from the car and from the driver's race suit. The regulations state that a driver's race suit must be resistant to fire to up to 12 seconds to allow the driver enough time to extract from the accident and away from receiving any further damage. But the car itself can also momentarily
12 seconds. When you're engulfed in fire, not from experience, but I imagine when you engulf in fire, 12 seconds is so long. I've been in car accidents that lasted 2 seconds. It felt like forever. I've been close to drowning in while surfing quite a bit, believe it or not. I used to surf in some really interesting places. I've gotten in trouble kite surfing, and man, 12 seconds in that kind of a stressful environment is a long time, but it goes so fast. Yeah, it's gonna go so fast, and then there's the panic and everything. So holy crap, I thought those things were safe for like minutes. I thought your race suit is gonna be safe for 2 minutes. I didn't realize it's 12 seconds. I think it's 12 seconds before it gets to a temperature where it can do damage. I don't think 12 seconds and you're dead, but still, it's crazy.
Protect the driver in the case of a fire with its built-in fire extinguisher. Now this big E indicates the kill switch for the electric circuit breaker, which all Formula 1 cars have. Once the cable is pulled, it moves.
See, I thought that was just a fire extinguisher. I did not realize there's an electric circuit breaker that's attached to it that shuts everything down.
The cable inside and switches everything off. That way there is no risk of an electric shock to either the drivers or to the marshals. And this red lead can be pulled either externally or with a button on the inside in the driver's cockpit. but it also activates the onboard
That's the
extinguisher.
fire extinguisher,
Now,
yeah,
once
right there.
activated, it releases a fire extinguisher liquid into the driver's cockpit and also underneath the engine covers. And this type of fire extinguisher is made to knock back the flames and again aiding the driver to be able to get out quickly. And a quick side note, if you want to learn more about the fire marshal training and the different extinguishers they use on a typical race weekend, then I've linked a previous video of mine at the very end of this video. Now you might think that with all the safety implementations Formula 1 have introduced in the most recent years, you might think that this jump test was introduced fairly recently. But this rule was in the regulations way before the Halo device was introduced. It actually came into action back in 1971.
I knew about this. It was when they started requiring certain type of new regulations because there were so many people dying from motor racing.
Seriously, it's listed right here in the regulation books from over 50 years ago, saying the maximum time necessary for the driver to get in or out does not exceed 5 seconds.
So once
I
they've
remember
been
that.
pulled or the driver's pressed the button to set it off, the extinguisher normally has nozzles. You'll have at least 1 or 2 in the cockpit to suppress for the driver, and then generally you'll have a couple the other side of the
Redirectional
bulkhead
nozzle.
firing into the engine bay. Obviously most fires tend to come from hot exhausts or oil lines or that sort of thing in the back, so it just helps suppress everything in there.
So then what does it look like when an extinguisher goes off? Well, I brought this single-seater extinguisher for £500 to show you. Now this large canister isn't what you would normally get in a Formula 1 car. It actually looks like this, but the price will jump from £500 upwards to £7,000 to £8,000.
Holy
and the
crap,
reason
that's
for
a
the
lot,
price
guys.
jump is due to a few different factors.
It used to be Halon back in the day, which is now banned for multiple reasons. It's sort of somewhere between a water type extinguisher and a powder extinguisher. So it's made up of various chemicals. It's not the nicest fluid to be on anything. It does bubble away, but it's also designed that it won't just evaporate. But the extinguisher does tend to eat away over a period of time. So you can save some components, but they need to be off the car and looked after quite.
It's a chemical that does destroys on whatever it's on. That's the thing. So it can destroy the car if it's pulled unnecessarily.
Quickly. Extinguishers in Formula 1 cars are generally made of carbon fiber, unlike a normal metallic big extinguisher that you might see in an office or something, and they are generally molded and shaped to the chassis, so the teams are obviously looking to save as much weight as possible. The extinguisher really is quite a heavy thing that you want to hide away in the smallest space you can, so although they're all by regulation, they have to have a certain amount of extinguishing. Common places always in the chassis around the driver, so that no matter what happens with an accident, they're generally going to be in the safest place, and they run on their own electronic system, so they will go off no matter what's happened to the rest of the car. Under the driver's legs or under their kidneys is also quite a good spot because there's enough space in the chassis to be able to put them there. This is out of a 1999 car. It was shaped to sit in the chassis underneath the driver's legs, hence the shaping in it. This sort of era, they'd all moved to a remote charge. A lot of like extinguishers that you see in an office are obviously all charged vessels. These are remote charged, so in here is all the fluid and the extinguishant that you need to go around the car.
Nitrogen,
In
I bet.
light of saving weight,
I bet they use
making it easy
nitrogen.
to change because these generally get buried quite a lot. They have a remote charge that is normally nitrogen, and that will sit
Yep.
in a separate part of the car. And when you press the button,
That's the
that
thing.
charge
That's the black
releases,
thing right
puts all
next
its
to it.
pressure into here, and then forces all the extinguishing out to go.
So it
right
doesn't
into
sound like the
car. So this
extinguisher is
out of
compressed. Only the
2012
tube with
car.
nitrogen is
And again,
compressed.
we've obviously got newer systems than that, but they all follow the same procedures really on what they're trying to do. FEV are generally the people that do most of the grid, if not all of the grid now. And these are all designed by the team to fit in some quite complicated shapes. So this would sit in the Sauber down underneath your kidneys, a lot lighter, a lot stronger with the way the carbon fiber technology has gone on and the way they can bond carbon and titanium together. There is a piece that goes in the top of this that has the filler and the 2 necks that come out, that the extinguishant comes out. But essentially this is a sealed system inside with a rubber bag, a little bit like the fuel tank, and the separate charge when it does go off, that's got an amount of
kinda cool.
pressure. It varies depending
I
on the
learned a
series.
lot about
and
the
the pressure
extinguishers today.
finds its way inside here, and the only way that it can get everything out is then to force all the fluid out, because you try to replace the fluid with the pressure, and that forces all the fluid out down the nozzles and then to all the various places in the car that it's plumbed to.
Is that what it looks
My
like?
YouTube channel is to show you how Formula 1 works, and I'm nearly at 100,000 subscribers. So if you are new here and you want to learn more about it, then make sure to click subscribe.
Guys, his name is Matt Miss. I watch a lot of his videos. He does some really good content. Get him, help him. Oh, he's almost at 100,000. Go help him get to 100,000. Give him a love, subscribe, and all that stuff. I love Formula 1. No, wrong one. I love Formula 1. There we go. I did not. Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that. I want to try getting out of that car. I don't think I can do it in 7 seconds. I don't know how long it would take me, but not 17 seconds. Yeah. If you guys had a chance to drive a Formula One car or a NASCAR, well, let me put it this way. You can go drive a NASCAR for a fee. You can go and actually be with other spectators on a track in multiple different tracks. You can actually pay and drive a NASCAR with other people on the track. You cannot do that with Formula One. So that being said, if I had a choice with Formula One, I would go with Formula One. I've heard a lot of stories about it's incomprehensible, the speed difference of accelerating and braking of Formula One and stuff like that. I know NASCAR is fast, but they don't have the brakes Formula One does. So I've heard that it's, yeah. I've heard some amazing, crazy stories about Formula One. I like that. Oh, man. I'm going to take a puff before this one, guys. What are you guys doing today? Tell me what's your plans are, guys, for today. Is this evening time? Anyone waking up? If this was later, I would say Billy might be hitting us up from Australia, but I don't think he's around. I want to play the new Spider-Man so bad. You guys have no idea. Oh, man. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy, from the comments. From the Facebook comments. How you doing, buddy? Toko, where are you, Toko? I was expecting you today. Don't tell him I called him out like that, guys. He'll get upset. I'm just playing. I'm too scared to drive an F1 car in real life. Formula LP, LMP2 and LMP3, that might not be too scary, honestly. I might consider Formula 3. I would probably drive Formula 3. I'd be great at Formula 3 with those thin tires. Excuse me. I've done some racing. I've done some racing. Let's see. I did Lamborghini on a drag strip. That was sponsored by SRS Racing. I feel like I forgot what the name was. It was a mobile game for driving, and I got to drive a bunch of different cars on a drag strip, and I streamed it on Facebook and YouTube, I think. That was really fun. I got to do a rally race across Canada in a Lamborghini. I think there's a video of that somewhere. I got to do some track driving in Ferrari tube car. It's not like a Ferrari car. It's a Ferrari racing car. It's made out of metal tubes. You know, but it's a racing car. You know. Also got to drive some other things on the track. That was fun. But yeah, I can't imagine the difference in Formula. You know, I see those guys pull 4Gs on every turn. It's just unbelievable. The acceleration is triggering Junkie's fear about Formula One. For me, it would be a sudden stop when I hit something, Junkie. That would be my fear. Or a more realistic fear, stalling multiple times in front of the pit crew. That would be my Formula One fear. Oh my god. So this guy got early access to Spider-Man 2. His name is Blitzwinger. I'm really curious about what he learned. I'm really excited about Spider-Man 2. I'm going to play it and stream it on my channel So let's check it out, guys.
This week, we have seen a lot of people, including myself, have had a chance to play Marvel Spider-Man 2 early. So this
That's awesome.
is 50 new
He's lucky as
details that we
shit.
have learned about Marvel Spider-Man 2. I do want to mention that these details will contain some spoilers for the game, so you have been warned. Additionally, some of these details have no available gameplay, as Sony did not permit us to actually record footage during our early preview event. So let's kick things
that
off
happens
with
a lot.
Traversal. By not letting go of web swing, you're
I've done a lot of early access gaming for COD, and they don't always let you record content because they don't want to, to tell everyone what you saw.
We're actually able to do a loop-de-loop that generates quite a bit of momentum.
Yeah.
But this is an ability that you actually have to unlock in order to have access to. This was actually initially spotted by YouTuber Jake Baldino and then confirmed by Insomniac Games themselves.
I kind of want to see the skill tree. I don't think there's been a leak of the skill tree.
Furthermore, you can also do sideways swinging around objects, such as the tops of buildings, allowing you to essentially continuously swing in a circle as you build up momentum, so that then when you let go, you get slingshotted forward with tons of momentum.
Hey, there's also a
speed.
slingshot I've heard.
And speaking of the slingshot,
There you
that
go, I've heard
feature
about
is
this.
not just available and will be usable in many different spots,
that
but
looks
on
epic.
certain rooftops, you can access something called the Super Slingshot, or just essentially a much
That
more
looks so
powerful
good.
version of the slingshot, allowing you to once again build a lot of momentum and traverse the now twice as large map. Now, we
looks so
obviously
good.
knew about the epic web wings and the wind tunnels that allow you to boost quickly, but during my gameplay session, I did go on ahead and verify that you can indeed enter the wind tunnels
I
from
love the
any
wind
which
tunnels.
way. They are multi-directional, and you can go on ahead and take advantage of their boost from whichever
This is
point
gonna
you
be
enter
so
them.
great,
You can
guys.
also perform something called the corner tether, meaning that you're able to make sharp left and right turns. And the coolest thing is that this feature is actually available to you both in the web swinging mechanic, but then in addition to that, you can also utilize it when
With
you're
the
using your
wingsuit.
web wings. All you need to do is pick a direction, whether that be right or left, and hold circle in order to activate this. And once again, this
And
was
make a
confirmed by
sharp turn.
Insomniac Games. If you have enough momentum as you're making your way above a body of water, you can actually water dash or glide slash, I guess, kind of surf across the water
That's
in a
cool.
similar fashion to what Insomniac Games has actually previously done in Sunset Overdrive, which again, I can verify was something that I did manage to pull off when I got my hands on session. The
That's
web
pretty
swinging
cool.
speed has been increased. The web wings functionality actually has quite a bit of similarity to the gliding mechanics of Batman Arkham games, where you're able to dive down and then as you pull back up, you're able to generate a lot more momentum, allowing you to once again traverse quickly.
I still put on Spider-Man 1 or Miles Morales all the time, and I don't do anything but for like 20-30 minutes just goes web swinging. I love it. I don't know, I just enjoy it, especially on my big TV at home in the living room in 4K. I freaking love it, so I can't wait to get my hands on this. I'm just gonna be doing this the whole time, just as I web swing with my mouth open and not doing anything else.
The acrobatics or the aerial tricks for Peter got an update, allowing him to feel a bit cooler and closer to Miles in terms of those.
Let me check, make sure it's in 4K because it doesn't look like the hot. Yeah.
Coolness factors. And finally, yes indeed, we have brand new swinging animations implemented. I just wanted to take a quick moment and thank you guys so very much for watching the video, and hopefully you're enjoying it. If you are, please don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, and let's dive into the visual details we have learned. Kicking things off with the fact that the game will indeed support several different running modes, including performance and fidelity, but it will also be able to run at 30 frames per second, 40 frames per second, and 60 frames per second, depending on what mode you select. But all of the modes will support and have ray tracing on at all times. There is actually a battle damage effect slash feature that is implemented onto the suits after being in battle, and I personally saw it present on at least the advanced suit and the upgraded suits. The other cool detail was that it actually did appear differently. So on one of the suits, it looked more like it was actual metal scrapings off the suit, whereas on the other one, it looked like it was a torn fabric. So really great attention to detail. Worry not though, the damage will disappear or fade back to a perfectly looking costume after a little while.
Oh,
The city is incredibly dense. We got more citizens, way more cars, more plants, more trees, and just simply put, more of everything.
I love it.
Speaking of which, the buildings have way more details, including more variety of what you can actually spot through the windows to make the city look more alive and detailed. And you can actually now even spot people inside those buildings. This was one of my favorite details. The webs in the game have that distinct spaghetti webbing design made famous by the comic book artist Todd McFarlane. When I noticed that, I was super duper stoked that they managed to include that in the game. Just like the webs though, the web wings also got a lot of attention. In fact, depending on whatever suit you're wearing, the web wings will adjust accordingly to fit the style and design of that suit.
That's
incredible.
Cool.
And finally, the environments also take a big step up and have way more destructibility, particularly indoors. When playing through a mission at the Emily May Foundation, I was blown away by just how much of the environment was falling apart. It was on fire, wires were sparking with electricity, and it was just absolutely breathtaking.
That gameplay looks so awesome. I can't wait, guys. I'm so excited. Holy crap.
Next, let's talk about combat and gameplay details. Peter has a
God.
brand new rage mode ability, similar to games like God of War, where by pressing R3 and L3 and having a full symbiote surge bar, you're able to unleash the power of the symbiote and begin to absolutely destroy everything in your path. It's a very, very powerful move. Miles Morales also gets new abilities, and they are, of course, evolved Venom Shock abilities, or at least we finally found out their names. So the new Venom Shock abilities are now titled the Evolved Venom Shock. You're going to be stopping a lot of crimes in New York City, and when you're dealing with those crimes, there's actually a chance that when you arrive to solve or stop a crime, that the other...
I love that the map is twice the size. The last map was gigantic. It never felt small, and this is gonna be even better.
Spider-Man, the one that you are not controlling at that time, will already be there fighting the crime, allowing you to actually perform a really cool team-up move between Peter and Miles.
Oh, that's
the adaptive triggers of the PlayStation 5 controller will not be used for just web slinging anymore, but they will instead be also utilized in some of the puzzle mechanics, where you have to essentially match up a required amount of pressure on each trigger in order to clear the puzzle.
I'm going to play it on a PlayStation 5.
Attacks in the game are able to be parried. There are, however, moves that must be parried, and there are also moves that must be dodged and cannot be parried at all. That adds a lot more complexity to the overall combat system. Both Miles and Peter will be getting some brand new finishing moves, and boy oh boy, they look awesome. And finally, the symbiote abilities in this game are very, very powerful. But in order to prevent you from spamming your symbiote abilities, Kraven's mechanical dog robots actually have an ability where they emit a sonar blast that essentially will lock down your symbiote abilities until you defeat that particular...
I mean, that's fair. You gotta make it balanced.
And have access to your abilities again. Just giving you guys another quick warning, because this next set of details is going to be spoiler heavy as we dive into some of the story.
Okay, I don't care about spoilers. I really don't. Rarely I care about spoilers. So, warning, spoiler alert, okay? I'm probably gonna forget anyway, but I want to watch this.
Story details. If you're a fan of classic villains and their designs, you'll be very happy to know that the Lizard will actually appear at least briefly in his iconic lab coat while going through his transformation sequence from Curt Connors to the Lizard, and this will all be part of a cutscene. Even though some of the gameplay that we've received makes it seem like Peter and the Lizard are at odds,
I hope so too.
Peter is actually trying to help Lizard turn back into Curt Connors because he needs his help, and he'll be using a vial with some type of a chemical that he actually steals off of Kraven, and then has Harry help him activate the chemical while at the Emily May Foundation before setting off to chase down the Lizard and try to turn him back into Curt Connors.
That's a cool
Speaking of
storyline.
Harry Osborn actually does know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. In fact, Harry Osborn also knows that Miles Morales is Spider-Man, and they will be interacting. And from my gameplay session, it also became quite obvious that not only does Harry know this, but Haley, Genki, Rio, MJ, and Harry Osborn all know the secret identities of our Spider-Men.
So it's not secret anymore, guys. It's just not.
Kraven can actually sense the presence of the beastly symbiote when he comes face to face with symbiote Spider-Man.
If only one person doesn't know your secret identity, is it still a secret?
Underground faction from the Miles Morales video game are back, and a lot of their weapon/tech crates are scattered all around the city for you to collect some tech parts from, so that then you could use those in order to craft
That's from
some
the last
suits
game too.
and other upgrades. Now, I only got to play for around 3 hours, but I gotta tell you guys, the tone of this story is definitely darker and much more serious, and not just because of Peter. I remember distinctly hearing a sequence where Miles implies that he would consider taking out Martin Li just to make sure that he can't cause anyone else the same type of pain that he caused to the Morales family. The symbiote is most definitely from space, and the meteor that it crashed onto Earth in has the infamous red spiral logo that is often associated with the corrupted symbiotes and the god of symbiotes, Null. The name of the symbiote project internally at Oscorp is actually VNM252, which is probably an Easter egg to Amazing Spider-Man 252, the first appearance of the symbiote suit. And of course, the VNM stands for, well, Venom. And finally, the Emily May Foundation is actually a think tank that has been funded by Oscorp, but has been put together by both Peter and Harry. And Harry in particular seems to be very passionate about making a difference in the world, healing the world, some would maybe even say, through the research done at Emily May. And finally, buckle in, because here's a rapid fire set of details that can't really be classified under any of the other topics we have covered so far.
I love the suits.
There are new puzzle mechanics that essentially...
Did you see all the suits he just showed, guys? Holy crap, guys. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait.
Actually require you to remove unwanted chemical compounds off of what I would best describe as a chain of atoms. The spider bots are actually back, and they will be a collectible item that has an odd pulsating effect that looks eerily similar to the glitch effect of the Spider-Verse films.
They're like a waypoint.
The spider bots will also be playable and controllable for puzzling sections, as well as some more stealthy missions. Boss fights get a massive upgrade. They're much more challenging to address, one of the common complaints of the previous two games. For example, you can see some of that with the gameplay that Sony has provided us for the lizard fight. And speaking of boss fights will actually now feature a health bar. This was something that I saw present, of course, on the lizard boss fight, but it was also present during a mini boss fight against one of Kraven's brute soldiers. If you want that much more immersive experience, you can now take damage. But fortunately enough, this feature is available to be turned on or off as you see fit. And
I don't want fall damage. I really don't want fall damage, because I fall a lot in different ways.
This was actually pointed out by the YouTuber Caboose. This next detail was one of my absolute favorites. When I was playing as Miles Morales in one of the missions, there's essentially a music shop sort of that was being robbed, and as I began chasing them down to try to stop the criminals, it told me that I essentially would not be able to follow both of the trucks. I had to essentially choose which path I wanted to go down. And so I was only able to kind of like, I guess, stop half the crime from taking place, which was very interesting because it made me think, what could have gone differently if I chose the other truck? Would I have gotten a new story development? Would I have gotten a new cutscene?
That's kind of interesting.
I guess that's something that we're going to get to find out on October 20th. The photo op missions
are
back.
Another
this
month.
time there seems to be much less focus on the iconic buildings of New York City and more of a focus on the people and the culture of New York instead. Oh, and the Daily Bugle's own Robbie Robertson is actually going to be your liaison for all of these missions. And speaking of photos, if you are
the person who hates me is going to be my liaison.
Spider-Man and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, fear not, it is back in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and pretty much from what I could tell, has all the same features. So if you liked all the controls that you had in those previous games, good news for you. Let's talk about...
I'm glad they're not changing the controls a lot.
About suits now. Most of the suits in the game will actually have 4 edit styles in total, allowing you to have much more variety in terms of what your Spider-Man will look like. Keep in mind, though, some suits, such as the Raimi symbiote suits, do not have any edit styles at all, and you would just have that one look. During this early preview event for Marvel's Spider-Man 2, we were allowed to play as 10 different costumes, 5 for each of our Spider-Man. So for Peter Parker, the ones that we had available were the advanced suit, the black symbiote suit, the Raimi symbiote suit, the Secret Wars Civil War suit, and the apocalyptic suit. My personal favorites were the symbiote suit and the advanced suit. For
I'm used to the advanced suit.
We had access to the new upgraded suit, the 2099 suit, the 10th anniversary suit, the Boricua suit, and the encoded suits.
I don't know these
personal
ones that
favorites
well.
were the upgraded and the encoded suits. They will definitely be paying attention to the event of the 2 previous games. For example, I visited the location of Black Cat's hideout from the previous games, and above the entrance door there is now a spray painted image of a Black Cat chibi design, which was really cool to see. One of the things that really jumped out at me during my play session was the fact that there's just simply way more quips now. I mean, you just hear the characters speak quite a bit more often, whether it be in battle or when you're just swinging through the city. You're going to get a lot more dialogue from both Miles.
That makes it more immersive, as long as it's not overwhelming, you know? I hate when I'm stuck in dialogue forever.
And Peter. We obviously knew about the ability of being able to switch from Miles to Peter in the hub world, which was very cool, but if you were looking for any sort of indication about knowing how to tackle which missions, fear not, because missions in the hub world are actually going to be specifically marked with either a Miles Morales or Peter Parker
That's
logo,
awesome.
or I guess in some cases both logos, to indicate to you which one of the Spider-Man can complete that specific mission,
cool.
or in some cases you could pick either one. You might be wondering as to how exactly does Kraven keep his bases hidden and away from plain sight in New York City. Well, actually,
that's never been a thing though. You know, remember all the hideouts in Spider-Man 1? They were in plain sight and you knew which ones there were. So, but this is kind of cool, I guess.
He does that by using a camouflage technology.
I knew
that
about
essentially
this.
conceals the bases.
It's pretty cool.
From the outside. They simply appear like regular, ordinary buildings. But once you cross over that camouflage barrier, you immediately realize that it has been completely overhauled to have the aesthetic and design for Kraven's army.
That's
and
awesome.
finally, if you're worried about a lack of variety of enemies, just in that 1 3-hour play session, I ran into a ton of different types of enemies, whether it be just basic grunts, armed grunts, and a variety of them, the long-range grunts, the mechanical bird drones, as well as the robot dogs, and even the brutes have a bunch of different variety in terms of the different weapons and armors that they come with, giving you a ton of different combinations.
Oh my God,
and
look at
a ton
that.
of different problems to try to solve using all your brand new combat and gadget tricks. So there you go, guys. Those are 50 plus details from Marvel's Spider-Man 2.
Guys.
Somehow, some way, they continue to make me more and more excited for this game.
I'm excited about it, guys. I can't wait to one more month. I have to wait one more month. Yeah, let me know if you're excited, guys. Herman, how you doing? I used to watch your videos like 10 years ago. Today I saw you're live and I'm still subscribed. Time runs so fast. Oh my God. Oh, Herman, you have no idea, buddy. I took a 2-year break and it's my first month back. So I'm glad you can stop by to say hello, man. All the subscribers like you and friends like you are, all the comments I get from people like you, it makes my day, man. So thanks for coming and checking out. Yeah. This one's kind of like checking out what's happening in gaming world. We took a look at a couple different things. I don't know if I want to check out. I'm a huge PS5 PS5 guy, you guys know, and the reason I actually overpaid on my PS5 is because of the SSD and everything it was gonna promise. Definitely between the PS5 and PS4, everything loads faster, but I never got to experience that. Oh, you can cross between worlds without any loading times. Yeah, loading times are fast, but they're still loading screens, so it doesn't have that magic, to be honest. So I kind of wanted to check this out. Yeah. What you been up to, Herman? If you were 10, are you in college now? What did you, are you in college, work? I've been asking this to everyone. Most of them tell me they're majors too. Kind of curious about that. Hey, Christian. I don't know much about the Wolverine game. I kind of want to take a look at it. Let me take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Ooh, a trailer, you say? Oh, this is 2 years ago. No, we need a new trailer. Let's take a look at this.
Durag Nation, with all the hype focused on Marvel Spider-Man 2, I wanted to go over the next game Insomniac will be releasing, Marvel's Wolverine. Both games were revealed at the 2021 PlayStation Showcase, but Spider-Man 2 took priority. That will change after October, so before then, I wanted to go over everything that has been revealed so far about the upcoming Wolverine project.
I'm
There is
excited
an
about
impression
Wolverine.
among some fans that we don't have any
don't know much
information
about it.
about this game, and I'm here to change that. So hit the like button if you're hyped for Marvel's Wolverine, but if you make it to the end and aren't satisfied, change it to a dislike. Like Spider-Man 2,
Ouch.
Marvel's Wolverine will be launching exclusively on the PlayStation 5 and will not be supporting PlayStation 4. However, based on the last 3 games Insomniac has released, it will eventually come to the PC. While Brian Intihar serves as the creative director for Spider-Man 2, Brian Horton will take on that role for Wolverine, just like he did for Spider-Man Miles
Do I have to be called
Morales.
Brian
However,
too?
Horton did confirm the game will be full-sized, unlike Miles Morales, and have a mature tone, which supports what industry insider Jeff Grubb, who is pretty much always right about his leaks, says he heard about the project. According to Grubb, the game
no
will be
hard R.
targeting a hard R rating, so expect plenty of blood and gore. Grubb also
Wow.
said the game could release as early as 2024, but he heard there may be an internal delay, so we'll likely see Logan in action sometime in 2025. The game so far only has 1 trailer, but a lot of information about the story was packed into it. In the now famous video, we're shown Wolverine sitting at a bar filled with guys he's just severely beaten while having a drink. The drinking establishment is called the Princess Bar, which fans of the comics will be very familiar with. The bar is located in Madripoor, which MCU fans will recognize from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The trailer seems to have completely recreated Marvel Comics Presents #1, where Wolverine visits the Princess Bar and beats up a bunch of enforcers attempting to collect protection money from the bar owner on behalf of a crime lord named Roche, whom Logan is currently
This is
hunting
gonna be
down.
so good,
While in
guys.
Madripoor, Wolverine develops the now famous secret identity known as Patch, which he uses to do investigations into the crime world while wearing a black eye patch. This eye patch can be seen in the trailer on the counter near his hands. Behind the bar is also a sign for Radio Lowton 104.8. Lowton is a district in Madripoor, but the numbers for the radio station match the universal designation of Marvel Spider-Man, which takes place on Earth 1048.
That's cool.
Another
I
interesting
can't
Easter
ever
egg
catch
behind the
stuff like
bar
this.
is a license plate that says HLK 181.
How
This
do
seems to
people
be a
find this
direct
stuff?
reference to the Incredible Hulk Volume 1, Issue 181, where Hulk and Wolverine fight each other during a hunt for an immortal creature
does that mean
known as the
Hulk's gonna be in
Wendigo,
it too?
teasing a potentially epic boss fight. Logan could also cross paths with even more Marvel characters
gonna be
during this
awesome.
game, since Madripoor is where he met Black Widow and Captain America for the first time. There was also a comic run where he spent time in Madripoor
If we see Captain America, oh my god, I'm gonna be playing it with my shield, guys.
with Jubilee and Psylocke, and the 3 of them ended up helping Black Widow fight the Hand, a criminal organization most famous for their battles with Daredevil, who is also confirmed to be in the Marvel Spider-Man
kidding me?
universe. We haven't had an official
That's gonna be so
update
good.
about the game since the animation lead teased when mocap sessions were about to start, but Insomniac is confirmed to be at Comic-Con this year for Spider-Man 2, so it's possible we could get a brief update on Wolverine either there or at the rumored second PlayStation showcase. And to hear more about what Insomniac has planned later this month, click on screen for the next video.
Guys, let me know. Are you guys excited about Wolverine? I hadn't heard much about it. That's pretty much new information to me. That's so freaking awesome. I can't wait. I'm a little worried about streaming it if it's a hard R rating. But man, I'm going to want to stream it. Herman goes, it's crazy. I have wet eyes right now looking at your old videos. I saw your old intro and just hit me. So many memories. I'm glad, Herman. I'm glad it's good memories too, buddy. Christian, how you doing? Captain America is getting his own video game? You teasing me. Is that a thing? Hi, where have I been? Thanks for the nice words, Herman. You're awesome, buddy. Matt, you too? Same, haha. The dancing intro girl got you. Oh, you guys are so nice. Thanks for the kind words, guys. Makes my day. Makes it feel like I'm doing this for something. Not doing this, but I would be doing this on my own in my living room while smoking a joint, you know? So I'm not doing anything, but I'm glad I'm streaming what I'm doing. It's fun. Yeah. 12 years ago. Holy crap. There was video games 12 years ago? Alright, I'm gonna look into it more later. I'll save this one for later. That's gonna be good. I hate how, not that, sorry, goddamn, sorry. I hate how it puts the screen out of shape. Yeah. How long have we been going? We've been going almost 2 hours. Alrighty. I'm hungry. And then I want to stream a game later. So I think maybe this is a good time to call it and then come back for another stream where we play something. What can we play? Let's see. Crew 2. No, Crew Motorfest. Herman goes, dude, I was like 9 years old. I didn't understand anything in English because you're from the EU, but I just watched your videos every day and I was just happy. That's awesome, Herman. Yeah, English wasn't my first language either, so it took me some time to learn it. And I learned it kind of like you. Watching you might have helped. I watched a lot of TV, and that's where I learned my English from. If you can't tell, the comedies from pretty much... I developed my sense of humor from television, I feel like. Yeah, mostly. You know, I grew up in the 90s in the United States. I don't think any of this... I want to check them out. But it's not really hitting me right now. Alright, we'll save this for next time. I still want to watch this PlayStation 5 though. Oh. You know what, guys? I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it so I can come back with another live stream. If you're new here, no promises on that. If you're new here, I'm not sure. It's already 2:26. It's late today. If you're new here, I'm streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, Wednesday. Every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm streaming. We do a react stream with gaming stream. So I play something. We react to some stuff. At the same time, I'm uploading videos every single day. So today's videos, what was it? Oh yeah, I forgot. It's how much I love Titanfall. Yeah, Titanfall 2 is making a comeback, guys, and I really love Titanfall. The main reason I love Titanfall is because of its campaign. I freaking love... If you've not ever experienced a... it's my favorite campaign of all time. Titanfall 2 campaign is my favorite campaign of all time, and if you guys know about it, let me know. I freaking love that campaign. So we watched a video about it. Titanfall 2 is making a comeback. If you missed it, it's from earlier today. Link is in the comments. Go check it out. Give it a like, comment. Let me know. If you love Titanfall as much as I do, I'm so excited if it actually makes a full-on comeback and more people start playing it. I'm going to definitely stream it. And the whole Titan part reminds me of the mech games I used to play. It's like Call of Duty with mechs. And the gunplay is amazing. It's awesome. Anyway, we talked about this yesterday. I don't want to go into it. I can talk about Titanfall 2. I'm so happy it's coming back. It's a game that I loved that no one cared about. No one cared about. And now it's making a comeback. Freaking excited about it. Sorry, guys. I'm still excited about it. Anyway, I'm going to call it here, guys. I was planning to do another live stream today. It's a little late. I didn't get much sleep. I want to do another one. I want to play something, probably Crew 2 or something like that. So let me go have some lunch, and then I'll be back. And for any reason, if I don't do a live stream today, I'm sorry, and I'll be back tomorrow. But I'm trying to do one today, so that's why I'm going to end it quick. All right? Bye, everyone. Good to see you, Shirka. All right. Bye, everyone. Much